don't think so. You guys have a summoner. Machinist. Samurai Dragoon. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have a dancer, we lose.
Greetings, gamers. So I have to say, I'm extremely addicted to Crystalline Conflict. I've been playing it literally every waking second that the servers have been up. And really, the only reason I was able to make this video even is because right now, the servers are down. Yeah, what can I say? I'm addicted. I haven't even touched MSQ yet. I usually do that like first thing. So some of you guys might know, Dancer is my main. I've gotten a little over 200 games now in Crystalline Conflict, and currently I'm actually on a win streak in gold rank, so I'm probably gonna be queuing right after I edit this video. So I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm not gonna go over tooltips very much in this video. I'm gonna just assume that you're already interested in Dancer and you've already looked at the tooltips or at least glanced at them. If you want to know what the abilities are specifically, I think there are plenty of other videos out there to watch. So first things first, before you even queue up, there are some things you gotta accept in your mind. Okay, listen. Dancer is not intended to be this solo carry. You won't be bursting healers down, you won't be bursting the backline. You can contribute to single target and burst, but you are not the main character. You're kind of like the background Bollywood dancer. Maybe even your face is blurred out a little bit. But you know, after playing background dancer for a bit, sure, you know, you can take the main stage and carry with it. The damage potential is actually pretty enormous. It's just a matter of lining things up and making sure you don't get caught while using your honing dance. So you have a lot of AoE damage potential, but I mean, you shouldn't be in the mindset of like a Dragoon or even a Machinist or a Bard. Like, Dancer has a very unique playstyle here. So first of all, let's kind of, I want to go over like strengths and weaknesses first. So let's go over the strengths. First off, you are the AoE god on the field. You specialize in AoE, burst AoE specifically. I don't think there's any other job in the game that has nearly as much AoE as Dancer. Maybe Summoner, but I'm more thinking about their LB. Another thing is that you can very easily distract the enemy team. There have been so many situations where I've gotten focused and I just dash back or away and I waste someone's time, or, you know, worst case scenario, I'll die, but I will have wasted their time. They'll have invested movement speed abilities, you know, maybe a cooldown, maybe even an LB in me. It's very, you can just be like this annoying mosquito around their team. And you can do that very easily. Another strength is that since you are so annoying, since you can distract, you know, you can also bait the enemy team into overextending. A lot of times, it's very common actually for pretty much every role to, you know, when you're getting focused down, you just run straight back into your team, almost even towards your base, even if you have to. And you will have made the enemy team invest so much time and resources into killing you that, you know, hopefully, ideally, your team will see, right? Your team will understand that, you know, this dude's chasing you. We can kill this guy now. Now, that doesn't always happen, right? They don't always peel for you and help you out. But, you know, worst case scenario, you die, you waste their time, you make them get completely out of position. You can really make them work for the kill. Never give up a life easily in this game mode. One little side note I do want to say is that, like, you know, people have been comparing Crystalline Conflict to Overwatch quite a bit, and rightfully so. You know, it does have a very Overwatch feel. And funny enough, if we're comparing to Overwatch, I would say Dancer is like you're playing Tracer almost. For those that don't know, Tracer has the lowest HP pool in the game. She has a ton of dashes, she likes poking, and just, you know, she can zip around the map very quickly and finish people off and target the backline. I feel like the roles that they play are very similar. Dancer, you want to just be an annoying mosquito in the backline and make them turn for you, make them deal with you. You want to be living in their heads. They want to be completely distracted the whole time and never comfortable in the backline. Another strength is Dancer's LB. It might seem a little bit weak at first, but you can actually combo it with quite a few things. You can combo with your honing dance. You know, since everyone is charmed around you, you can honing dance and not only get some amazing damage down, but you can also increase their charm duration by 2 seconds, totaling in 4 seconds that their entire team is CC'd, just walking slowly to you. And you know, you can kind of get creative with this, right? Like on the map with the lava and, you know, the explosions, you can LB and, you know, maybe you'll die, but you can actually wipe the entire team, the entire enemy team, if you time it correctly and prevent them from moving out of it. The last strength I want to mention is your movement. Dancer's movement is actually really insane. 4 charges of en avant is insane. You can really zip around the map, like I was saying before. You can get a lot of things done, and you can be very versatile with your playstyle in terms of, like, do you want to play a bit more defensive? Do you want to play reserved? Do you want to play offensive? You can kind of adjust based on the situation of the game in regards to spending your en avant charges. So I think that's very fun, it's pretty dynamic, and it adds a little bit of a skill cap to Dancer. I think you have easily some of the best movement in the game. Another class that comes to mind is maybe Ninja, something like that. So now let's go over weaknesses. First of all, Dancer is very, very squishy. I'm not sure if you have the lowest HP, like a Tracer, for example, like I was saying, but you are very easily killed. I think probably more so than most classes. And that kind of moves me down to the second point, is that you are countered very, very hard by CC. And I know CC is rough for everybody, but for Dancer specifically, when you're trying to kind of take advantage and make use of your full kit, you can get locked down very easily and burnt very fast. So Dancer, in my opinion, can die more easily than most classes out there, if not the most squishy. I think it's the most squishy class, in my opinion, if it's locked down. So jobs like Summoner or Bard, for example, are easily pretty hard counters to Dancer already. They can easily lock down Dancer, they can root it, which is really, really bad for damage, and also it prevents you from escaping. Like I said before, you're very squishy. So another weakness is weak sustained damage. Dancer does not have very good sustained damage. You'll notice that most of your kit actually is not only AoE, but it's on a 20-second interval. Every 20 seconds you can get in there and burst AoE. But other than that, the sustained damage is kind of just not there. You can get decent damage off with en avant and your procs, right? And Saber Dance, it hits like a truck, but the sustained damage really isn't there. You'll find in some situations, you know, maybe your team is bursting down the enemy, but you just don't have your damage. So you'll notice that perhaps the timing of your damage might be off from the rest of your team. So that can be you know, a little bit of a weakness. Another one is a big portion of your damage is tied to your escape. Like I was saying, your en avant procs your Fountain Fall, your Reverse Cascade, and your Saber Dance. A lot of the en avant charges are used for damage. Typically you want to bank a couple, at the very least you want to bank one for movement, or perhaps in case you need to help out, you see a low enemy, you can en avant quickly and then finish them off with some kind of proc. And this is a big weakness because, yeah, like I said before, if you get CC'd, if you start to get focused, a lot of your damage might actually get canceled out. If you ever have to use en avant twice in a row, that's a little bit of a waste of damage. So it's a little bit interesting having a lot of your damage paired with your movement. Also, if you get rooted in Honing Dance, or if you get stunned in Honing Dance, you're not going to be able to line up your damage very well, you know. Honing Dance, you're supposed to be able to move around with the team, just kind of blade storm in there, right? And, you know, when you get rooted, people can easily just kind of move out of it, and you won't get enough damage out. The last one is very important. You see, the thing is that a Dancer is very telegraphed with what it's trying to do. The win condition for Dancer is very obvious, and, you know, the thing is, people will get better. They will learn to counter this. They will see the Dancer dashing in, and they will immediately CC the Dancer and focus them down. I've had a few games myself. It was actually pretty frustrating, but there was this really good bard who knew exactly what I was doing, exactly what I was trying to do, because every time I would even think about dashing in, he would root and silence me at the same time, and he would just focus me. And it was very smart, but it was very frustrating. He really canceled out a lot of my damage. So I think as people get better, definitely Dancer will see a little bit of difficulty in the meta. So I want to go ahead and move on, and I kind of want to talk about like the mindset you should be in. So the mindset that I kind of have is that I'm squishy. So, you know, since I'm squishy, like if the game is starting, I'm gonna let the fight start. You know, I'm gonna wait a few seconds, let some people get involved, and then I'll look to do my Starfall dance, my fan dance, then Anavan in and Honing dance. And hopefully I won't get CC'd and burnt down and have to burn all my healing or die. You kind of want to make sure that the attention is not on you. I see a lot of dancers playing primarily in the friendly backline, like almost like they're a machinist or something like that. Even like I see dancers playing like in the backline, and then when their burst is up, then they'll go in. That is a viable way to do it. I mean, you're doing damage, right? But in my opinion, I don't think you're really taking advantage of the dancer's movement kit. I think what you could be doing is you could be getting angles, controlling different parts of the map, even getting behind the team. And like I said before, you want to be kind of like a mosquito or a gnat, just an annoyance behind the enemy team, zipping through, you know, all their backline, taking their health packs, things like that. I think that's taking full advantage of the dancer's kit. The thing is that, you know, yes, that you're very squishy, you can get caught out and CC'd, but if you're playing constantly in the back line, and the only time you're gonna go in is with your AoE combo, maybe you can circle back into your team, right? If you're doing that, then they're gonna have to invest a lot into killing you. And if you're in their backline, if you're in their base, they're gonna have to turn, if they wanna get you, they're gonna have to turn all the way back around. And chances are you're gonna waste one or two people's time, or maybe even the whole team. It can actually be very fun working to get them out of position, confusing them, raising their anxiety a little bit, you know. Oh, the dancer's like right behind us, like, you know, what's he gonna do? It's funny to think about, but like in the moment, a lot of times players can't think about what's in front of them and what's behind them at the same time. It'll be sort of like an information overload, and it raises the chance that the enemy team will make mistakes. So it's a little bit of a mental game you're playing, as well as just a straight up positional advantage. So anyway, guys, I think this has gotten a little bit too long. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think the playstyle that I've mentioned here for Dancer is probably just going to be, hopefully, I mean, probably the best way to play it. So far, I mean, it's only been less than a week, right? But I've tried all kinds of different ways to play Dancer. So I think this might be like the way to play Dancer. If Dancer is brought in, quite honestly, like I said before, you're not the main character. I don't think Dancer's one of the best classes. I think it's good. I think it's good, but it's not bringing all these things to the table like a summoner or a bard or a dragoon or even a warrior. I appreciate you guys watching. Maybe I'll make an update video in a month from now or something, or maybe in a couple weeks if the playstyle changes. But as of right now, Dancer is super fun, and when you play it like this, it is really impactful. So I hope you guys can make use of this and have fun in your games, and good luck. I'll see you in the next one.